everybody. I'm May Kenny from New Braunfels, Texas. There it is. Come on, let's go.
Oh, we're open 9 years now. I'm here for 9 years.
What's interesting about the kind of food y'all sell here?
It's authentic German food. It tastes better than the one in Germany, honestly.
So how long have you known Maybell?
Oh, May from the day one.
She's a fixture.
She comes in every time Terry plays. She comes in, and she dances every song. Okay.
She doesn't cause trouble?
May?
I took those home economic classes, so I do know how to sew, Maybell.
Now watch me how I'm going to do
Okay.
this, okay? You start where the seam is because we want to leave it alone there. You put the back stitch a little bit. Now, made a little mark here. We want to go to about here, okay? And to about there. And then, no, I met Jonathan at Friesenhaus. This good-looking guy came up to me. Hey, May, do you remember me? No. I'm Jonathan. He's a good-looking guy. Okay, Heidi, let's check out your bloomers. Ooh, wow, there we are.
Oh my.
Looky here, we got threads hanging everywhere. But, you know what? We did a good job. Ain't that cute? Look at that. Now twirl for him yet too. Yay! Yoo-hoo! There we go. You're going to do that for me at Friesenhaus tonight. Will you?
Yeah, because when I'm wearing the bloomers, nobody can see my business when I
It
twirl
looks
my
so
skirt.
cute. They are cute. Look at that trim you bought. Well, my beauty shop lady bought a dress from me, and I have this at the bottom, and she's got a slip she wore square dancing, with this big thing hanging out, and she's gonna wear that under her dress. Won't that be cute like that? The school class was upstairs, and I was chewing gum. So I leaned down from the railing, and all of a sudden I lost my gum. And here was this lady sitting in church. The gum fell right onto her hat, and she sat all through church with that gum on her hat. I'll never forget that. I was confirmed at Marion High School, Marion Church. We got married in a Lutheran church, and it was a little church, but everybody, okay, now you try this thing on, and then we gotta hit the road. We have two people that really got mad at me because I told them, lady, I don't do this. I used to do it. I said, well, I'm gonna go home and do it. They picked up their clothes, and man, they did not go home happy. So I called the sewing center to see when they had stuff that they didn't like to do, I would get the job. I told them I ain't doing it no more. So they haven't sent me any more people, which I'm glad of. In New Braunfels they say, watch what you say, because everybody knows each other. But wasn't that interesting? Man, I wished y'all would have taken a movie of that. Wouldn't that have been something? But you didn't have your camera with you at that time, huh?
We might catch him. We might get an interview from him.
Take me with you when you do that. His little, see, he had a sister also. And I was babysitting. My daughter-in-law was along, then she was playing with the kids. They were all sitting on top of a tree, and all of a sudden we heard something, and Katie had locked herself in the bathroom. Oh Lord, what am I going to do now? Jonathan went in there and he rescued her. Some way he got through the window and got her out of the bathroom. I got interesting stories to tell. The more we talk, the more interesting it gets. It's like Terry and I talked last night. We have come a long ways together. He had a girlfriend. Her name was Lisa. Terry was here with her. He designed her German dress. Now he's got a girl playing in the band with him, and he helped design her purple dress because the guys in the band have purple shirts. And I said if it hadn't been for his German shirt that I copied, I would not have known how to make a German shirt. So I told him, Terry, I owe you a lot. He said, I know, we've come through a lot together. Guess how I met him? Is this going to be on video?
We'll see whether you never know what'll be on video.
You don't have to use it, but
No.
when Friesenhaus first opened, here was this good-looking man playing the accordion. I sat way in the back with a real old shabby dress on, just sitting there. All of a sudden, at intermission time, he comes and talks to me. I said, well, hello there, how are you doing? He said, now you can say no if you want to, but I need help. I said, well, let's hear it. I need some ladies' underwear made. That's how he and I got to know each other. I made him ladies' underwear. And he does a panty dance. Oh, I wish he'd do that for y'all. It's the cutest thing. He made, see, a lot of it depends upon the crowd. If you ain't got the right crowd there, it takes the right crowd to do stuff like this. But it is cute. She used to own a flower shop. She's my cousin, and I think she does beautiful work.
What's her name?
Lorraine Kraft. And little girls, you know, really, if you look at my pictures, the little girls, when they're in dancing, they have to wear one. They really look, you look so cute in yours. This one here is the red, black, and white, and she's decorating it with silver because gold would not go with these colors. And she'll just throw just anything together. Out of all the headpieces she's made for me, there are no two alike. That's how smart she is. You can tell yours and this one, way different. And there I have a pair of sleeves made for the next dress I'm going to make. Here you see your sleeve that you're wearing. You put elastic in the bottom, in the top, and then this here part is the part you're going to set into your dress. You know, just like my dress here.
Now, what's different?
We did not have time to think about doing drugs. We were glad when we got to go to bed at night and sleep. That's a big difference.
That's a good one.
We got to take a nap at lunchtime, but we had to lay on the floor because the beds were made. You don't mess up the bed. And then we got an hour. We ate, and then we got about an hour to rest, and then we went back into the field. Got our exercise. We were happy doing what we did, and we were happy to go out on a Saturday night and have fun. And my brother and I would jump around on the, you know, when you pick cotton, it's put on a trailer. And we'd jump around on that trailer. And out on the farm, I did wear a bonnet. We'd jump around on that trailer. I'd always lose my bonnet doing it. So when my dad took the cotton to the gin to get it ginned or whatever you call it, he always had to stand there and watch for my bonnet. He always found it again. So that was fun, jumping around on that cotton. We got our exercise, and I would think it was just as much fun as if you go to the health exercising thing now. Plus pulling that cotton sack. I weighed 129 when I got married. You got your exercise when you pulled that cotton sack with about 50 pounds of cotton in it. And sometimes you'd have to get down on your knees, and we wore knee pads and picked that cotton. So really, I always say I wished we could go back to those days, because now, it's all right, but for $5 we bought a big old sack of groceries. Now for $5 maybe you can buy a pound of ground meat. And we always made it. So that is how I would put it. At night you were glad to get to bed. You did not have time to go out and do dough. Period.
The war started in
One thing,
45.
we were not allowed to speak German at that time. And Terry has this song out, you can't buy beer on Sunday. We couldn't. But my husband was always smart enough. He wasn't old enough to buy the beer, but he'd use his father's driver's license and show it, and by God, he had a lot of friends. He bought beer for all the miners. We'd go to St. Hedwig. Hey, here comes Koenig. We're thirsty. He'd buy him a case of beer. Yeah, everybody. But one time he almost got picked up doing it. How he talked his way out of it, I don't know. One time going home from St. Hedwig, are you all familiar where St. Hedwig is? It's close to San Antonio, and we lived way out in Marion. We were driving, and Raymond said, hey, May, there's a watermelon patch there. I'm going to stop. I'm going to get us some. So number one, he tore a hole in his pants trying to get them. When we got him home the next day, we were going to have watermelon, and it was a stupid green old melon that you couldn't eat. Then one Saturday night we went to Devil's Backbone. It's up here in the hills. We both got lit. We decided, well, we can't make it home, so we slept in the San Marcos Inn. It was pretty good sleeping, and the next morning I woke up, I felt pretty good. But when we got home, I always walked barefooted. I even went into the field barefooted. When I got home, we had a tank, and Raymond was down there fishing, and I was going to go there, fish with him. I was barefooted, and I stepped in a long, old mesquite thorn. Buddy, I sobered up in a hurry. That hurt. So that is one thing we had to do out there on the farm. Plus, my husband was a hunter and a fisherman. When he went hunting or fishing, I would stay home and sew, because I worked during the week. Because I was not crazy about, I did go along one time, and I was tired. So I just took me a nap there in the middle of the pasture. When I woke up, I had deer tracks all around me. I never saw the deer. But it's all pretty interesting. We went through, I think we were married 53 years. He now will be gone 15 years. Nothing. That ain't no fun. When Crystal Chandelier opened up here in New Braunfels, that was a beautiful dance hall. And we had this good old band named the Fowle Brothers. And their first song, they always started, "It's a crystal chandelier." And we put Rick, he was 3 years old at that time. Well, he took his pallet along. He spent the night on his pallet. But then the next morning he woke up singing, "It's a crystal chandelier." We didn't hire babysitters at that time. We went to Smithson's Valley to a dance hall, and the kids really enjoyed this. I have 2 adopted sons. And the dogs would walk across the hall, and it was real countrified. That was something to take the kids to. So we always found a way of having fun, which Terry said, "You're good and you're funny." That's what he told me today. I said, "Well, let's name our movie Funny. What's wrong with that?" He's a good old egg to joke with. Remember that song he plays? "If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands." Then at the end of the song he'll say, "If you're happy and you know it, buy a CD." Oh, like you said, he's a good entertainer. So Rooster, he said, "Cock-a-doodle-doo, I got enough for 2. Oh, Lord, you were taught how to save money and how to spend your money. Mm-hmm. And before you went to school, one morning I had to do the dishes. The next morning, it was my brother's turn to first do the breakfast dishes. And we always, I don't know whether you all are familiar with homemade hard sausage. We made our own sausage. That's what we got to take to school, a sausage sandwich. And I got so tired of eating that stuff, I finally just took a pickle sandwich to school. And we had to walk about a mile to get to the school bus that would pick us up. And we'd have our own lunch, and my brother always said, "If I'll eat a sandwich, will you eat one?" Well, of course. By the time the bus came, our lunch was gone. And I also got frostbite feet standing there waiting for the bus. Man, it was cold them days. And those feet still itched when I got married at 18. And remember, I quit school at 13. It takes you forever to get over those frostbits. That was another way. It was so hard for us to get to school. We lived 3 miles from school. But we had a long old muddy driveway from the road to the house that we had to walk to catch the bus. And if the people ahead of us were late, naturally the guy was late picking us up. We had a hard life, but we didn't realize it at that time. If people had to do this now, forget it. We had an outdoor toilet, I might as well tell y'all. We used old rags instead of toilet paper. So it was a cold morning, cold night. My dad had to use the bathroom. He wet his rag. When he finally got around to using it, it was froze ice. So that made him decide, well, this is it. I'm moving to town. So they built a house next to us, and they lived next to us for 17 years. And for $5 a week, I took care of them. I got their groceries and everything.
Everybody can sing, it's just ya, ya, ya. Here we go. Ya, ya, ya.
Couldn't speak a word of English when I started school. But would you believe they let me skip the first grade? They put me in the second grade. I did well in school. But at 13, I had to quit and pick cotton for my dad. At 18, I got married and picked cotton for my husband. We never went hungry. We had our garden, our chickens, our own homemade sausage. My mother canned, and I had a brother. So we baked 4 loaves of bread every other day. Homemade bread with homemade cream and homemade jelly and with a piece of homemade ham was pretty darn good. We made homemade ice cream also. We cooked the custard and added homemade cream and vanilla and took turns cranking it. There was no electric thing around us. We had no electricity. There was a trick to this though. We could only make ice cream when there was ice on the water trough. That's what we did. Then we went in the house and sat by the wood stove and ate it. Sweet rice is another German dish. Cook your rice in salt water until it's tender and all the water is gone. Add milk and sugar. I just always do a dab of this and a dab of that and cook until it's thickened. Then you put cinnamon and sugar on top of that. We played hide and go seek, kicked the can, hand it over. We picked cotton all week, but at the age of 12, my parents took me dancing with a nickel tied in my handkerchief. Because at that time we could buy a soda water for a nickel. I am now 84, so this has been years ago. Now I'm dancing with my walker to German music. My favorite songs are the Maybell Polka, Fraulein, Red Raven Polka, and many, many more. Approximately in 1955, my husband and I moved to New Braunfels, Texas. I decided I was kind of tired of picking cotton.
Somebody do!
Yeah!
You know what? I don't think they know what that means. That means, are you ready? And everybody shouts back as loud as you can. Yeah! Here we go. Somebody do!
So I got hired at Tater Croc for 75 cents an hour. This was big money. We made little girls' frilly dresses. I learned how to sew on an electric sewing machine. I was used to making cotton sacks on a pedal machine. I quit there and went to Comet Hosier Mills and folded and packaged hose. I made production there. Man, I made $1.50 an hour. I was there about 20 years and they went out of business. Then I was drawing unemployment and the labor lady came over and she said, Kraft Home and Auto needed an old lady in parts department. Now you flip the page of what it is. Okay, I went there and would you believe I got the job? So, I worked there for about 10 years and they went out of business. Then I worked at Bavarian Village for $2 an hour. It was a German restaurant. We made 6-foot sandwiches with a beer. That was good. The owner needed German waitress dresses. She gave me a picture. I made their waitress dresses. Then I decided, why don't I turn this into a German dress? I did. But before I did that, Bavarian Village went out of business, okay? So then I decided I'm going to make this waitress dress into a German dress. Then, and when they went out of business, I went to work at Glastron Boat Company. I ran the sewing department there and also helped sew. Guess what? They went out of business. People ask me, do you have a Singer sewing machine? I tell them, they don't sing by themselves. Plus, you need to know how to use a ripper also.
The next song, right?
So who is this, Maybell?
It's me.
Oh, who's this?
That's Terry, my friend.
What does Terry do?
Sir?
What's he do?
Oh, he dances with me. He smiles at me.
I'm a private dancer.
Yeah.
And Heidi's standing in the background. Okay, Maybell, you gotta smile.
Wait a minute. Gotta get my feet in place. Okay.
Smile and wave.
Okay, I was born in 1929, Depression time. My parents had to sell a load of corn to buy me a case of milk. We had no running water, no phone, no electricity, but we made it. Okay, now we're getting to laundry. Monday mornings was laundry day. We had to carry our water from my grandma's house to our house. She had a better water supply than we had. Then we heated it in a big black pot. I tell you one thing, that clothes came out clean. We had to hang it on a wash line to dry. It wasn't easy. Sometimes I would get to go dancing on a Sunday night. But remember, Monday morning was wash day. Okay, I did a lot of embroidering for my hope chest. When I got married, my husband had 2 cows. I had to learn how to milk. I had long fingernails. The poor cows, I milked them with them long fingernails. When my bucket was full, the cow would step in it. There went my milk. We made homemade butter out of the cream that we got from the milk. We had mud roads. When it rained, we were stuck at home. No dancing for that night. We always made it to Landa Park in New Braunfels with our gallon of homemade ice cream in our Model T. Also to Landa Park, dances. My husband always said, Let's go wiggle and wobble to Al Schnabel. Al Schnabel was good music, and you dance out under the stars. Think about it. We always managed to make it from Marion to New Braunfels, which is now 1044. At that time was a gravel road. My dad used to farm with mules. Finally, he sold enough cotton to buy a tractor. He got to the end of the row and he hollered, "Whoa!" When he hollered, "Whoa," the mules would have stopped. But the tractor didn't stop. So guess what? It ran through his fence. When we baked a cake, we always had to bake one with one egg because we had to save our eggs to sell them to the store so we could buy groceries. My mother sewed my dresses. Maybe I got 3 a year, with a 6-inch hem in them. As I grew, the hem was let out. Roasting ears right out of the field was good eating with homemade butter. When we had roasting ears, that was it. You didn't have anything else to eat with it, but it was good. We would catch a fryer, chop his head off, clean it, and cook it. Now that was good tasting chicken compared to the chicken nowadays. I did not know how to drive when I got married. My husband joined the Air Force, so his dad had to teach me how to drive. I had a hard time with parallel parking. He would always put 2 sticks out there. I would always knock down the sticks. So he said, "Okay, I'll put my Chevrolet out there." And guess what? I hit a Chevrolet. Anyhow, after 3 trips to Seguin to get my driver's license, I finally made it. Don't ask me how I did it, but I finally got my driver's license. I am now making German dresses, dancing with my walker at Friesenhaus. That's the story of my life. Never a dull moment.
The Little Tin and Worse Fest is... And so are you. Stick around for...